Cho nên tôi nghĩ việc sổ sách kế toán xảy ra sai sót ít nhiều thì cũng có liên quan đến chị ấy. Tuy nhiên tôi đã đoán trước nên giấu quyển sổ ở chỗ khác rồi.
Tôi hiểu rồi. Có thể là trong lúc vào tìm quyển sổ, cô ta đã gặp ông Okuda và bị ông ta đẩy xuống lòng.
Nói như vậy cũng có lý.
Đúng là thám tử lừng danh có khác, suy luận vừa thông minh vừa sắc sảo.
Trời ơi, chuyện này dễ như ăn cháo thôi mà.
Tôi hưởng thụ bà này lắm.
Hình như có người không thỏa mãn với việc tên tội phạm đã bị bắt thì phải.
Nhìn chỗ này nè.
Những đường kẻ gì đó vậy? Nhìn như sợi dây bị kéo đi xung quanh.
Mình đoán là trong lúc tranh cãi và xảy ra xô xát thì dây giày của cô Yamazaki đã bị tuột ra đó.
Nhưng nếu là vậy thì lạ quá đúng không?
Đúng vậy. Lúc phát hiện thi thể thì dây giày của cô ấy vẫn đang cột chặt. Vậy có nghĩa là...
Dạ.
Trung sĩ Takagi ơi, chú phát hiện được gì liên quan tới cánh hoa chưa?
Có đó. Cháu đang hỏi cái này hả?
Vì cô ta đã rớt xuống một luống hoa, vậy nên nếu quần áo có dính cánh hoa thì cũng không có gì lạ. Dù sao thì cứ để bên pháp y kiểm tra.
Dạ.
Mình nghĩ cánh hoa đó không phải là của những cây hoa ở đây đâu.
Mà hơn nữa, cánh hoa còn có vẻ sậm màu hơn lúc mới được tìm thấy. Có khi nào...
Hả?
Cái túi mà cậu nhận được hồi nãy á.
Đúng là vậy đó.
Mình đã hiểu được nguồn gốc của sự việc rồi. Tuy nhiên chứng cứ quan trọng nhất là...
Nhưng mà hung thủ bị bắt là tốt rồi, phải không các cậu?
Đúng rồi đó. Từ giờ trở đi, vườn hoa của chúng ta sẽ được an toàn.
Nhưng mình thấy không có gì tốt hết trơn á. Tới giờ mình vẫn chưa tìm được cục gạch xinh đẹp tự tay mình làm nữa cả.
Mình hiểu rồi. Vật chứng chắc chắn vẫn còn ở đó.
Hô hô, bắt quả tang cô đang hủy bằng chứng nha. Đúng như tôi nghĩ, hung thủ không phải ai khác ngoài cô. Xem chút nữa là cô đã lừa được chúng tôi rồi. Trên cơ thể có chằng chịt vết thương, cộng thêm vết máu trên những viên gạch. Xem xét những yếu tố trên, gần như có thể chắc chắn rằng cô Yamazaki đã chết vì bị trượt chân. Thêm một điểm nữa.
Thấy giấy thật không ạ? Má này stream đêm lòng stream đêm mệt quá rồi.
Là cảnh sát đã tìm thấy những dấu giày của ông Okuda và cô Yamazaki. Chưa kể là ông Okuda đã có mâu thuẫn ở trong lòng. Điều đó càng khiến cho ông ta có động cơ để thực hiện tội ác. Vì ông Okuda không có bằng chứng ngoại phạm nên cô đã khiến ông ta bị buộc tội. Tuy nhiên cô đã phạm phải hai lỗi nhỏ này. Thứ nhất là chi tiết dây giày của nạn nhân. Lúc đó trên cầu thang, ngoài dấu giày của ông Okuda và cô Yamazaki, còn có dấu vết của dây giày bị kéo lê. Tôi suy đoán có thể trong lúc hai người cãi nhau, dây giày của cô Yamazaki đã bị tuột ra. Tuy nhiên, tại hiện trường nơi phát hiện ra thi thể thì dây giày vẫn còn đang cột. Điều đó có nghĩa là cô Yamazaki đã không rơi xuống vào thời điểm đó, mà là ở một thời điểm khác. Những bông hoa trên quầy thanh toán đó nhìn cũng đẹp quá ha. Cây hoa ngọc trăm đêm bốn cánh thường chỉ nở vào buổi tối muộn như vậy. Loài hoa này vào ban ngày sẽ có màu trắng, nhưng đến khi đêm về thì nó lại dần chuyển sang màu hồng rất đặc trưng. Cánh hoa ngọc trăm màu hồng đêm nay là sai lầm còn lại của cô. Vì loài hoa này chỉ nở vào ban đêm, nên chúng sẽ không được trồng ở trong vườn trẻ em. Nhưng điểm mấu chốt là đã có một cánh hoa ngọc trăm đêm trên áo của nạn nhân. Chính sự xuất hiện của cánh hoa đã dẫn đường cho tôi đến tìm cô, hung thủ thật sự. Đúng không, cô Okumura?
Khoan đã, rốt cuộc ông Mori đang nói về chuyện gì vậy? Bất cứ ai cũng có thể cột dây giày được mà, tại sao lại buộc tội tôi? Hoa ngọc trong đêm bốn cánh cũng có thể được tìm thấy ở bất cứ nơi đâu. Cảnh sát cũng đã nói rằng hung thủ chính là tên phá hoại khu vườn rồi mà.
Đúng, ông Okuda chính là kẻ phá hoại vườn hoa trẻ em bên dưới. Ông ta đang khó khăn về tài chính nên cố tình phá vườn hoa để có thể bán hạt giống, bóng đèn và cung cấp dịch vụ tu sửa. Nắm bắt được tình hình đó, cô lên một kế hoạch để ông Okuda phải chịu tội thay cho mình. Vào sáng hôm nay, khi cô nhìn thấy hai người họ có một cuộc cãi vã nảy lửa trên cầu thang, cô đã quyết định sẽ biến nó thành hiện trường của vụ án. Để loại bỏ chứng cứ ngoại phạm của ông ta, cô đã đặt đơn hàng giả, yêu cầu ông ta phải giao hàng vào lúc 8 giờ tối.
Điều đó thật là vô lý mà. Cảnh sát đã nói cô Yamazaki bị giết vào lúc 8 giờ, đúng không? Cũng vào lúc đó, tôi đang làm việc ở quán của nhà mình kia mà. Tôi đã có mặt ở đó từ lúc 7 giờ đến 9 giờ 30 phút. Không phải suốt thời gian đó ông cũng có mặt ở quán với tôi hay sao hả?
Khoảng cách từ quán của nhà cô đến trung tâm huấn luyện là hơn 5 cây số, nhưng nếu đi bằng xe hơi thì sẽ chỉ mất 10 phút mà thôi.
Suy luận thú vị lắm ngài thám tử, nhưng sự thật có vẻ trái ngược với giả thuyết của ông rồi. Vào thời điểm cô Yamazaki té xuống đất tử vong, tôi không thể nào có mặt ở hiện trường được thám tử à.
Mấu chốt chính là những viên gạch. Cô đã lợi dụng việc kẻ xấu liên tục phá hoại vườn hoa, và nhân lúc không ai để ý, đã nhiều lần lấy trộm gạch từ những luống hoa. Sau đó xếp chúng vào cái giỏ và xách về quán nhà cô. Cô Yamazaki không phải chết vì bị té cầu thang, mà là bị sát hại ngay tại đây. Giờ thì bằng chứng ngoại phạm của cô vô dụng rồi. Nói theo một cách khác, đó chỉ là hiện trường giả được tạo ra để đánh lừa cảnh sát thôi. Trước khi trung tâm đóng cửa, cô đã mời cô Yamazaki đến đây, đánh thuốc mê cho cô ấy bất tỉnh rồi đưa cô ấy lên lầu. Từ 7 giờ đến 9 giờ 30 tối, cô vẫn làm việc ở quán bình thường, hòng tạo chứng cứ ngoại phạm. Và khoảng 8 giờ, cô đã viện cớ lấy lý do vào nhà vệ sinh 5 phút để lên lầu. Sau khi cột lại dây giày cho cô Yamazaki, cô liền thả cô ấy từ tầng 3 xuống. Bằng cách này, đầu của cô ấy đã va đập vào những viên gạch được xếp sẵn ở bên dưới dẫn đến tử vong. Cũng vào lúc đó, một cánh hoa đã dướng vào áo của cô ấy. Sau khi gây tội ác, cô đã giấu thi thể của cô ấy trong cốp xe. Đợi dọn hàng đóng cửa xong, cô mới lái xe đem thi thể bỏ ở trung tâm. Hơn nữa, sáng nay nghe tôi và bé Ayumi nói chuyện, nên cô biết chúng tôi sẽ đến để canh chừng khu vườn. Khi đem giấu xác chết, cô nghĩ rằng chúng tôi sẽ phát hiện ra nó, và điều đó sẽ làm chứng cứ ngoại phạm của cô càng trở nên hoàn hảo.
Tôi đã ráng kiên nhẫn nghe ông nói, nhưng tất cả chuyện này chỉ là do ông tưởng tượng ra mà thôi. Ông có bằng chứng gì để chứng minh tôi là hung thủ không hả?
Cô hãy thừa nhận đi, chính cô đã lấy trộm những viên gạch ở trung tâm về. Nè, cô Đanh.
Dạ có. À, đúng như bác nói nè, ở trong giỏ có quá trời gạch luôn.
Ngay sau khi đem giấu thi thể, vì phải lập tức quay về để duy trì chứng cứ vắng mặt, nên cô không có thời gian dọn đống gạch mà chỉ gom chúng vào giỏ. Nếu mang những viên gạch đó đi xét nghiệm, chúng tôi sẽ nhanh chóng tìm ra bằng chứng chứng minh rằng cô Yamazaki đã bị giết ở đây. Về việc tiền quỹ của trung tâm bị thâm hụt, người có liên quan nhất không phải ai khác chính là cô, có đúng không? Khi cô Yamazaki bắt đầu điều tra đã phát hiện cô là thủ phạm.
Ông nói rất đúng, tôi đang nợ ngân hàng rất nhiều tiền, nhưng mà làm việc bán thời gian ở quán của gia đình không đủ để tôi chi trả. Cho nên tôi đã nhắm tới số tiền quỹ của trung tâm. Khi bị Yamazaki phát hiện, cô ta đe dọa sẽ phơi bày tội lỗi của tôi và tôi sẽ bị đuổi việc. Chính vì vậy, tôi đã xử lý con mụ đó.
Vui quá đây, cục gạch xinh đẹp của mình vẫn là lạng.
Cục gạch mà bạn Kojima đã dốc hết tâm huyết để làm ha.
Cho mình xem xíu đi, nó như thế nào vậy?
Các cậu có đi nào.
Không lẽ nào đây là con...
Cậu hiểu đúng ý nghĩa của nó hả? Đúng vậy, đây là hộp cơm lương đó.
Lại nữa hả?
Có lẽ cậu ấy bị ám ảnh bởi món cơm nương, chứ có yêu quý gì cục gạch đâu.
Sạc.
Cháu tin là chị ấy hoàn toàn không có bất cứ lý do gì để tự sát hết. Rõ ràng chị đã tận mắt chứng kiến chuyện này, vậy sao vẫn cho rằng đó không phải sự thật?
Tôi làm xong phải đọc rồi.
Đúng là đáng ngờ. Sao mà
hai
hai người đó lại cùng có mặt trong một môi trường như vậy chứ?
Chính vì thấy chị ấy hạnh phúc như vậy nên mình mới chắc chắn chị ấy không thể
vấn
nào
đề
tự sát
sức
được.
khỏe.
Mà phải làm rõ chuyện này thì mới thuyết phục được con bé đó. Chỉ như vậy thì nó mới có thể từ bỏ. Đây cũng là sứ mệnh của một thám tử lừng danh.
Tập tiếp theo của Conan. cửa sổ học viện nữ.
BDS has been extremely strong, so yeah, let's see how the game plays out.
And let's see what they decide to go with here as we will head to the draft really soon. What has BDS cooked for us as well? I've been talking to the players backstage and they're like, "Law, we have some stuff planned, we have some spicy picks planned, we know what add-on can do on some champions." I really want to see what the others can bring and what they can
surely you're not doing it against a team like Rogue instead on the way onto playoffs next week, you know what I mean? Because they just look so good with all the stable picks. Like, I think for a team specifically like BDS, you don't have to change the formula. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here at all. Like, you just go with what is strong on the patch, and it absolutely works for them.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what direction Rogue goes, because, like I said before, if they go for this kind of scaling, easy-to-play approach, I guess BDS, it will be hard. If they don't have these early playmaking tools, I think honestly, your best chance as Rogue might just be to match their early game and try to get Zoalis on one of his
BDS với lại Rogue thì
That's one of the hardest things that Rogue has tried to achieve.
Sau trận này thì là
the early game, the slow pace of the gameplay that we've been talking about, and I think the easiest way for them is to try and just go for scaling. And I know it's gonna suck, especially if BDS really has a high octane early game themselves, but the truth is, Rogue has just been way more comfortable in a late game scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm BDS, I just banned the most easy-to-play champion, so to say. I think the Senna makes sense. I think, honestly, even banning something like the Corki would be fine. Something like the Maokai, which just kind of gives them an easy path towards fights. If I'm BDS, I'm more confident in team fights, and I'm more confident in early games, so just remove these easy tools.
Trận này tôi nghĩ là G2 lụm chắc.
Champions that can exist on Rogue, and LeBlanc, I think, is one of those champs, which Larsen could obviously kind of abuse in the mid lane.
Yeah, we saw what Caps was able to do on that the other day, and yeah, while the AD LeBlanc has been nerfed, it's still thriving. Yeah, it still looks very fun on the Rift.
What will be the best bet here? Puppy again. Okay.
There's a lot of champs still open, right? There's Maokai, there's Ashe, obviously, Kalista as well is another champion which Comp has been very proficient on in the past. Norban last, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Adam just looking for Cassandra himself, and he knows that Legenda prefers playing the 9 to the Cassandra, so yeah, I don't know. Well, Labrov and Ice, they have played an Ashe bot lane with Ashe support early as well, so it could still be good into the Kalista, so it wouldn't surprise me to see that be picked up against it.
Yeah, if you have Ashe and then you hold support pick until 5, you can also flex the Ashe to AD carry. Obviously it's played mostly in support right now, but still a fine AD carry. And if you hold support until 5 here on the side of BDS, it will give you a slightly easier matchup, I would say. Also, we know that Labrov has been insane on the Blitzcrank, so I'm sure that Rogue is very scared of picking the Renata themselves. It will be kind of an easy counter pick.
They mentioned it yesterday when I talked to Comp. You have to be careful about Labrov's Blitzcrank. I don't think we're going to see the champion today. Really standard draft here on this side of BDS so far.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Makoon is thinking right now, because they're trying to match the Zhao. We've seen Jax in the jungle against it, we've seen the Trundle against it, but we've also just seen a standard Maokai facilitating a team like a Rel. So I want to see what kind of path he chose for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think honestly picking the Blitzcrank themselves when they have Kalista against Ashe is like the most obvious choice here. You don't want the Renata because of Labrov's Blitzcrank, so if you pick it away, easy peasy. And then take the Corki for scaling, obviously Larsen comfort pick since many years back. I think you have to get something like the Braum here. I think you need a safe support. They go for Orianna Sinzao instead.
Handshaking mid lane.
Yeah, handshaking mid lane is fine. But I do think that now for bot lane, Ashe support doesn't look very enticing if I'm Labrov. I think obviously with the Vars already banned, there's not many lanes where you can kind of abuse the Kalista and the Blitzcrank, so I would like to see Rogue ban out the safe supports like Braum, because I think that's the direction Labrov should go for.
Looking at Team BDS as well, they are starting to take away their junglers now that there isn't that many left from Makoon either, but I think as Rogue right now, you don't need a lot to finish your comp. You just need a standard jungler, you need a top laner that provides some CC or puts again the even, and then you're playing for the early game through the bot, and you got Larsen as that late game to play through. But I think on the side of Team BDS as well, they want something where they can really accelerate their team fight, so they don't find them in a situation where Larsen will just outrange them completely and they have no way of playing the game. But there goes the Rel, there goes the Maokai, and that has been the most stable facilitators of Makoon so far.
Yeah, I'm looking at something like maybe Jarvan, for example. It would be very good engage against the Ashe and the Orianna for Makoon. It's not a champ which he's, I guess, played a lot in the past. He can obviously play the champion, but I think it would be a solid pick for them. I'm very interested to see now if BDS goes for, I think obviously they should lock in the support here. I personally myself would look towards something like the Braum. Can block a lot of rockets as well from Corki in teamfights, very easy to play.
But I think as well, if you go Braum here, then like Trundle has a lot of value right now, is at least what I'm thinking. Like, you're decent into Sin, you got the pillar as well from Ashe. It's kind of hard to play into when you're so immobile.
Alistar and Braum are the two best supports into Kalista and into Blitzcrank, so I think either of those would be fine.
This one's great.
Yeah, Alistar also with Orianna makes a lot of sense. I think now Rogue has... They kind of have to spice up their top side a bit, because obviously Adam has counterpick. The Olaf and Darius are banned, so he's bring the Garen here a bit of a taunt. So I think Cassante makes a lot of sense now, right? I think that would make the most sense for Shigella to
blind
pick
pick,
up.
I think, yeah. It's one of the safest options you can go with right now.
I would like to see a Jarvan here from Marcoon. I think they need some more kind of follow-up for Zoelis. I'm not sure if they're a champ, which I've missed. I think something like the Jax, like you mentioned, GB, would be okay, but it's very hard to teamfight against the side in BDS
as well, just knock him away. But
Jarvan has by a pick here on the side of Rogue.
Yeah, just anything that really punishes an immobile lady carry as well can force flash out of the Orianna too. But they're still talking about it as well.
Kind of hesitation, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup from Rogue. And now BDS.
I don't even know what I was waiting for, honestly.
Just getting insta-logged in. We talked about it. He's been playing a lot of Cassante, but he's also been on the gods. And yeah, Garen comes through. Honestly, have we seen it against the Cassante? Because usually it's against the Jax as he's got as a counter pick.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen this matchup.
No, but he will play it into anything.
Yeah,
That's
I think
not
the
an issue
items
for
were
Adam.
nerfed a bit for Garen, but I still think you can play this matchup. I think it's not as good as before, and Cassante is very OP right now, but it will be interesting to see.
So final questions before we toss to Kasta. Are you happy with the approach that Rogue has going into the best team we have in the league right now?
I think they have more early game and they have a lot more playmaking, especially on jungle and support, so I think they just need to link up and kind of force plays on BDS because they have the power in their hands to make it happen.
But it is also where they can't afford to be slow. Like, you got a Jarvan, you got a Blitzcrank, you got to get those linked up. You got, yep, absolutely. You got to make sure that you utilize what you've actually picked these champions for. If the gameplay is slow-paced and you're only relying on the Corki, then the rest of your team is going to be struggling.
All right, well, let's see if Rogue can take down the top team we have in the ADC as we head into our second game of the day.
Thank you very much, Lore. What? Interesting draft, I will say. Not as spicy compared to our previous game. I feel like pretty standard. Although I do love me a little bit of Kalista Blitzcrank. And you know what I hope? I hope this leads Rogue to a new playstyle where they just go crazy with these hooks.
You know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking, we often talk about how slow Rogue are. And in a way, we were almost dreading this game just because we were like, well, will Rogue do anything until they hit items? Maybe Blitzcrank is the caffeine that we needed.
It absolutely is. I stand by that. I like that angle. Blitzcrank is the caffeine lead. I'm giving that benefit of the doubt. It's a tall task to beat BDS.
Oh, yeah.
They've been a pretty solid team. But Blitz has seen a lot of success here in the LEC. Let's see if Zoelis can find a win on it himself. And Larson, obviously, comfort in Corki. He scales well. He plays well in the late game once he's scaled. So it's a nice pairing. And comp back to Kalista. So comfort for Rogue, really.
And I will say there is a lot of value in this Corki pick and its value of poke. Just because BDS, their engage tools are pretty limited. It's more or less kind of, will Ashe arrow hit? Will someone overstep?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously always are going to have the opportunity to flash Alistar combo.
Yeah.
But against a Corki, you know, you can react in a lot of those situations. And they don't have that, you know.
Yeah.
Alistar, I feel like a weaker, better in some ways than Rel, but mostly just very similar to Rel.
It's
in what
like
he provides.
They don't have a Jarvan who can just start a fight, and I'm not going to say the fight will be good as a Zoelis.
Hook, connecting, onto Lebrov. Alistar level 1, useless.
Oh.
He's getting run down. Lebrov going to die first blood!
Okay.
Man! That is tragic. All right, so Zoelis gives up a pot, probably, and that's about it, in exchange for Lebrov going down. And now Ice can't even walk up in this lane phase.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough for Ice. And also Larson was the one that picked up the first blood kill.
I mean, yeah, he could go back and buy tier right now and TP back to lane.
Oh,
like
level 2? I mean, the mid lane is quite wide. I don't know.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Rogue, sidestep from Nuke clean. Nice thumbs up. A little bit of cocky play there. But I will say, level 1, successful. Kind of a counterpunch to what BDS tried to do with that invade there.
Yeah.
And level 2 ganks coming in.
Okay.
I like what we're seeing.
Valkyrie forward. Oh my.
I love it. And obviously we know, like, we've seen these players at their peak. They have the capacity to play these super aggressive laning phases backed up as it was when Malrang was on the team in so many of their early games. But this is what we've been waiting to see from Rogue. And some of that flavor that made them so successful in years past.
Exactly. It's the fact that we know they can be aggressive, but it feels like philosophically they would prefer a much slower game. Now, speaking of the opposite of slow, chao, nope, not going to look for this onto Larson. Or is he?
Okay. chao on the way in. He's willing to commit here. Larson taking his time, just a bit of poke, just helping Nuke out in the laning phase. Of course, Larson, in theory, has a gold advantage, but because he hasn't spent it yet, it doesn't matter. And I do think, Germano, before we get any further, just a reminder on stakes here. Rogue are essentially neck and neck only with Giant X at this point. They play tomorrow. That's kind of the big breakpoint game for them. That's the do-or-die matchup for both of those lineups. But for BDS, they could lock top 2. Right now, they're just trying to lock down a lane phase as Ice getting bullied out here. Ren comes through as well. Larson could just be in trouble. Who's actually going to win out on this one? Nuke continuing to step up. Is he willing to commit the flash here? Is he going to trade flash for flash with Larson? Opts not to do it. Doesn't want to overcommit. His shield's on the bottom side, but Luis walking up.
Oh, the Grunt's in the way. Not anymore.
Doesn't want to risk it. And right now, the early game looking really nice for the side of Rogue. Yes, it's only a 500 gold lead, but they're going to get a little bit more here once they're able to force this wave in. Ice not going to be able to catch so much of the CS.
This is nice tempered aggression from Rogue right now.
I like what we're seeing. Don't want to jinx it. Not going to say anything, you know? Just I'm appreciating it as it happens. All right. Adam, of course, level 6, I think maybe a bit more kill pressure in this lane. Lane he's very comfortable with. Doesn't have TP, something we like to talk about a lot. You know, the disparity in summoner spells there. And Rogue, obviously, you got Corki package and you got Larson with TP. It's going to feel really easy to have man advantage in a lot of these fights if Adam does not find a way to really shut down Shigenda here.
Yeah, as it goes, when you're running a TP-less top laner, you really have to be on point with your lane assignments and just understanding where you need to be on the map at all times. One momentary lapse will really, you'll just lose way too much.
But of course, Adam and this BDS lineup are no strangers to him playing TP-less top laners. He's probably played more often without TP in a lot of the years than he has with. So, going to be ready for that. Assume that they will find the diligence there with good lane assignments, but after those initial bursts of ganks, all is relatively quiet. And for bot lane, Ashe obviously very strong into Kalista, makes her life pretty difficult, so now that they've stabilized, now that resets have come through, while Ice might be 100 or so gold behind, should balance things out pretty quickly here.
And that crash on the bottom side of the combination of neutral side and mid lane priority is just going to allow chao to slip in here. He's gone over the wall with the wind becomes lightning and the audacious charge. He's not going to be on vision, but you'd imagine Rogue will have this idea that it's going on once Ice and Leberov dip over to the river. But BDS will also see Marcoon go over towards the grubs. So let's see what actually can transpire here, because Adam's got a little bit of free time to move down and interrupt that.
Good vision control on the top side for BDS. That's play around the vision. Instant flash in, ignite as well, just trying to take Marcoon out of the equation. Oh, goes in!
And this is just all good planning from BDS. chao left that ward up there earlier on. Knows he's got the timer to do the dragon. Adam, just by, I feel like a little bit of coincidence to be fair, has the window to slip down and just stops him from doing grubs. Well played by BDS.
And that's why the Garen is scary. You know, they banned away a couple of those Adam picks, but they couldn't take them all out. Lebrov has to be careful here, but chao's on the way in now. It might be Zoelis who's been caught out. 1-2 looking for the knockup. Not going to commit anything else. Hook goes in. Catching chao out, but the knockup was already prepped for chao. Chao no level 6 means he will get taken down here. Flying a drag forward from Marcoon, but a quick flash out to safety from Lebrov.
Yeah, I mean, really well played by Rogue on the counter punch there. They felt like they were able to try and turn that one around, but unfortunately Marcoon returns from his death to the bottom tribe Russian. Able to donate over that kill to Comp, and that's going to kind of extend out this gold lead that's slowly building between Comp and Ice.
Yeah, Rogue actually building a lead overall. Yes, Adam, maybe a little bit of a concern as he has about 300 individual gold for himself, as well as a blue buff, just to make the laning phase a bit easier, but 700 gold for Comp right now. Only 200 for Larson. That discrepancy after the first blood slowly shrinking, but right now it feels like Rogue taking control early on. chao just helping Adam push out here. Again, without the TP, it's lane phase is much, much more volatile.
It's very difficult. You end up in a situation with no jungler, you're kind of like half chunked out. You don't know whether or not you can be lethal, or if you try to clear the wave, you will get run down for it. So it's nice that chao's there just to kind of support Adam, just a touch. Constantly hovering around.
A lot of time topside.
Yeah,
I think the initial wind becomes lightning on the Scuttlecraft. Didn't want to commit.
Oh.
Might just get one popped here. Red buff, walk up, get the auto, get the slow, immediate follow-up CC, hook ready to go if they need it, but Lebrov in the area as well, and in the 1v1, chao most certainly wins out. Adam now trying to step in. Body block comes in from Shigenda there just to deny access. Chio now following up. Marcoon there. Pull back under towers. In trouble, but he's going to live. Blinking health bars on both junglers. Neither side able to get much of a bigger advantage. Shigenda now stepping up on Adam, but can't reliably go for the all-in in that exchange. BDS, though, closer to the crab. Able to start that one up. Unafraid. Chio healing up pretty quick.
No one's got a grub yet. Very close. Everyone's fighting for him, but no one's getting any.
It's kind of an icky name, though. Who really wants grubs?
Yeah.
You want a dragon? You want a Baron Nasher? Void grubs? Like, we have picked Rift Herald. Like, all these things sound so cool. Void grubs sound kind of gross. And they are kind of gross. I mean, like...
They are kind of gross, yeah.
You don't want to touch that.
No.
Remember Dirty Jobs? Feels like an episode of Dirty Jobs. Every time you go to pick up grubs. Like, this is... What is coming out of you right now? What are these void mites? Are you making these? Where did these come from?
I don't want to think about that.
No?
No.
And that's fair, and we won't. Instead, we'll talk about steaks. Steaks are always safe discussion
I love steak.
Again, I mentioned it earlier. For Rogue, it's really do or die in that Giant X matchup tomorrow. We'll kind of keep you posted as the tiebreaker stakes kind of develop further. But for BDS, they lock top 2 here. Remember, the distinction between first and second, not important in our format, but top 2 is a nice place to be. You're going to get to pick your opponent. It's going to feel so good coming to best of 3 to know you can lock down potentially one of the teams that has been struggling in the season or has just barely made it in. BDS would love to have that advantage. The other contestants really at this stage are mostly G2 and SK.
Yep.
Who also had some pretty solid performances.
BDS would love to lock down that top 2, but crucially Rogue as well. Obviously,
to lock down that top 8.
Yeah. It's kind of a sink or swim almost situation. You want to be able to pick up a win here today just because, 1, it puts pressure on Giant X, but 2, you just feel a lot better being on 3 wins as opposed to 2, considering you don't know what the result will be later on. Because going into tomorrow, if both teams are at 2 and 2, it just becomes an elimination straight up.
Or both teams are 3 and 3. I mean, we could have...
Or that too, yeah.
Either or. Certainly a situation to keep our eyes out for. It's always interesting to see how form changes kind of when the pressure is on. I'm curious to see what KC will look like later today, if they're going to be one of the teams where now that there's no pressure on them whatsoever, they just show up and play like absolute, gods. Happens so frequently for teams that are eliminated.
Feels like sports sub law, doesn't it? Like, the moment you really have nothing to play for,
you finally take the pressure off yourself and you're like, wait, I'm actually so good. I just need to chill.
What the heck? I just had to take a moment and be like, yeah, I'm actually pretty good at this League of Legends game.
And my CSing and my team fighting and my warding.
He said it, not me.
I was talking about myself.
Oh, okay.
Don't project here.
Okay.
I'm not trying to kick anybody while they're already down.
Okay, just making sure.
No bad blood here. Other than the Mad Lions fans, they're roasting me constantly for putting them in tier. That one understands.
All right.
I feel like there might be bad blood there. I'm going to let that one go.
There might be, but like, who didn't put them in D tier? And realistically,
an entire country.
If you didn't put them there, you're either Spanish or, frankly, you must have
prophetic.
Prophetic. Okay, you're either Spanish prophetic.
Yeah.
Or you're damn well crazy because, I mean,
really love Ivor, which be fair.
Yeah. Also true. Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish. I think he's lovely. Anyway, Larson has a package.
Oh, hello.
Arrow going mid lane, going wide, going top lane, leaving the rift. Okay, nothing's gonna happen.
Something just hit me in the head.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
Can we break the game time record again?
Not twice in one day.
Okay,
no.
Rogue, first setup here. Larson has package. BDS very likely to just concede this immediate ult now coming from Lebrov. He's ticking down. They can just wait for the spears to fall away and they can instantly one-shot him. I'm stepping up, but they'll be happy with just the dragon. This is a scattered fight. Not sure how much time Larson has left on the package, but that'll be Drake over to Rogue. 1 Drake to 1. Larson packages back to mid lane to pick up the farm.
The grubs haven't been taken yet.
Because they're icky. I told you, bro. They're nasty as hell. Shio's going in there. He's doing dirty work for the sake of the team.
All right.
Look at them. They're horrifying. They're so gross. Why are their mouths sideways? What was the evolutionary purpose of that?
Do you know what that reminds me? They kind of look
They're just like they cannot eat soup. They absolutely cannot eat soup.
Oh boy. Wait,
all right,
ice
caught out now. Instant combo, but a clean flash to make it out to safety. LeBron, can he punish them for overextending? Next flag to drag. Ice still has to be careful. Has to be ready to backstep if necessary. Marcoon ignited. Marcoon burning down. Golden Egg buys him a bit more space. Ignite ticking will get the job
Nuke's
done.
in now.
Nuke here as well. This is big for BDS. They've already taken down 2 Void Grubs. They're going to get all 3. Zoli's getting instantly pulled back. LeBron with a follow-up. A comp. Able to turn it. Trying to get a little bit more here. Ice now backing away, playing on the edge there. Shigenda going to step forward. There should just be a double for Rogue on the bottom side. TP, pretty important summoner spell, and Rogue putting it to good work.
Yeah, Adam not able to follow up, and they know that Xin Zhao's on the top side because they get the call out from the grab takedown. So Rogue able to capitalize on this. A couple of plates will be traded on the top side for sure, but I mean, it feels like breadcrumbs in response. Comp gets another kill, so does Larson. Gold's going everywhere Rogue wants it to. Adam gonna get an additional plate.
And look, it's good if the Garen can one-shot a Callista.
Thing.
And again, shout out to Stixay. We know he can one-shot a Callista as we get later in the game. Fight starts pretty good for Rogue. Looks like BDS are going to turn in, but hey man, TP's important.
Yeah, TP is very important. And at the end of the day, whilst this chase down is great and the Ignite eventually does tick down for Marcoon, once the overchase comes in because Nuke's got the first move, kind of just opens up this window, as you can see on the top side. Adam's proxying, so Shigenda eventually gets his teleport through, and the target goes, of course, through onto Zolas, who has the ultimate back up from Comp.
You know, able to make that play just in the nick of time. TPing to the minion. There was no ward there for the flank. Just that last minion as the shot is coming in from the tower. So well played overall. And Rogue continuing to scale comfortably. And this is the thing I will say that I like is when Comp is performing on the Callista, I love having Callista with a scaling move. People talk about it all the time, but I do really like having that bridge because Callista is such a powerhouse in these early skirmishes. And Corki's super powerful late game.
Yeah.
So you got, you're covered for all stages. And Marcoon fitting into a supportive role here. The Jarvan looking solid. Yes, it's only 0-2-1, but much more proactivity than we have seen in a lot of the Rogue early games.
Yeah. A lot of positives right now for Rogue. As this Herald, by the looks of things, should go down to them pretty easily.
See, that feels worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's big horn, big eye, it's scary and kind of gross, but that's worth it. That's a triumph.
And you get to drive it.
Yeah.
It's like winning a car.
Yeah, exactly. This is a worthwhile objective. Woodgrub's not convinced.
Not convinced?
No, not convinced. Good buff. Terrible monster. BDS happy to have at least 3. Make that push a little bit faster. Losing Herald. Bit difficult. Adam, is he going to find an angle to punish? Instagram is just going to give him that respect. And remember, breaking open mid-tier 1, fantastic. Yep. With a Blitzcrank, any champion that wants to try and fish for picks loves taking down mid lane tier 1. You push up your vision line, enemy team is walking into the risk of death every time they face check the rush.
Yeah, if BDS and Rogue continue to play at this pace, but Rogue are able to crack open that mid lane tier 1, the game, it almost turns into a horror game at that point, where as Rogue slowly strip away vision, as BDS, you never know which bush is going to have a Blitzcrank in it. And it's just a constant guessing game.
I mean, inversely, if BDS take down the mid lane tower, you never know which bush is going to have a Garen in it. So it could go either way. Mid lane tower is just very important, it turns out.
People to thunk it.
And that's why mid laners have egos, I feel like, because they know their lane is significant in the context of the map.
That it is. Well, there's 60 seconds until Cloud Dragon. Will this be a pick? Nope.
I don't know if you wanted that hook, Zoelise. Luckily he misses, but BDS immediately going to fall off. That's one dead Blitzcrank. Arrow not going to connect on Larson on the backside of that play. Out of mana as well, and BDS is going to try to extend the lead in the bottom side. Well played from Lebrov. Good roam. Rogue now looking to punish top lane. Nuke. Is he just going to, he's just going to back off here, respecting that he's on the weak side, but is it too little too late? Will they be able to take this Orianna out?
No. Far enough away. I can at the very least appreciate that Rogue are looking for active plays though. I will say that. And right now as well, the cross map of the failed play on the bottom side and on the top side is Herald Charge. He'll pick up this tower and more gold into Comp's back pocket.
More money for Comp is the big thing.
Yeah.
Able to solely put that gold
into
the hands of Comp. Oh, he's getting double value.
Oh.
He's drifting. Oh my gosh, Nuke saw it coming.
Oh!
This is a flash! Waiting in the darkness. We were scared of the wrong robot.
Yeah, we were.
Ở stream sớm mệt quá. Stream gọi rất là nhiều. Mất cùng làm việc này.